Good morning, warriors. How are we doing today? This is May 6th, 2022. Hope you guys are having a great day. You guys are on your purpose. I have reached 700 NoFap days and 225 on the monk mode. So I'll just kind of give you my reflections a little bit. I won't do a long one today, but reflections on this. And a lot of your good comments. First, thanks again for your support. Thanks again for being part of the family with this. One of the things that when I started doing this, I wasn't sure exactly how long I would be doing this and whether or not it was going to make a difference. And, being an older person, being someone that's going to be 61 in June, I wasn't totally sure whether or not, my message was really going to go out and help people. But it sounds like it is from all the responses and things you guys have given me. And in return, you guys have given me a lot of great information, great philosophical talks, comments and things you're going to put together from both young men, young women. I appreciate all the great comments, and it's kind of given me a chance to kind of reflect back and realize how fortunate I am at this point to actually kind of learn a lot of the different truths about the world and life. And so I think certainly as we as we move forward, there's a lot of new truths coming in this world, and I think one of them is that our journey is really important, and life is not just about chasing men or chasing women around and having sex and just looking at all kinds of stuff and all this other kind of stuff that he focuses on that is not really that important. The importance comes from within. And what I've noticed with this 700 days is the idea that he is really kind of looking at, and I'm saying God now, is focusing on you as an individual. And when you look at the inside of yourself and you're trying to kind of figure out what is happiness and what is peace and all those type of things, you realize a lot of the external world doesn't matter. And that's the whole key, I think, as I reflect. As I've done this more and more, I realize how less important things are. And I've been kind of focusing on that for a long time. And it just kind of keeps dawning on me that, yeah, it's nice to get material things. And I've had years of that. I've had years of not having things. I think the key thing, bud, is how you are. And I've heard a good story yesterday, and I don't know what it was. I was either reading something, maybe I read some materials, and it was kind of a passage in a book or something, and I have to go back and look at it. But it was talking about this king who was sitting there with his sword, I think it was, and he was sharpening his sword, and he had a minister next to him. And he accidentally cut his finger off with the sword. And the minister, he helped him, but he said something that was very interesting. He said that everything that happens for good, right? Now, obviously the king was infuriated, as most of us would be, right? And he just, he fired the minister. He put the minister in jail for 2 months. And so the minister had this attitude, well, whatever happens for good. And that's kind of the attitude that he was talking about. Now, and this is really a great philosophy, by the way, because I think a lot of times we tend to look at the negative things, and instead of looking at the positive, even for instance, if you relapse, there's a reason for that. And I didn't realize that all those 40 some years I was doing it, that you're building stronger and stronger, and God is sending you a message to give you the information at the right time that's going to help you. So in this story again, 2 months he sat in jail, so in the meantime, the king went out with a bunch of his soldiers and people and went out to do some hunting and things like that. And so they went out hunting. And what they did was they found different, wildlife, and they did all those kind of things. But the king got lost, and the king then got, overtaken by a tribe And that tribe looked at the king and said, wow, we need to sacrifice something to this individual, our God, right? And so they looked and they're going to say, okay, we're going to go ahead and sacrifice the king of this other place, right? And so they were ready to go ahead and do that, and they were kind of washing him down and everything, and they realized he was missing a finger. And so the head of the tribesmen said, well, we cannot sacrifice this person because this person is not complete. Our God will punish us if we do that. So they actually let the king go, and the king went back to his castle and all his people in there, and he was thinking about this for a while, and he said, that minister was right, that I would have surely been killed if I didn't have the finger cut off. And so he got the minister out of jail, and he gave the minister a job back and all that kind of stuff. And he was sitting with the minister and said, I think you were right. And he said, it saved my life, the fact that my finger was off. And the minister said, well, it saved my life too. And the king says, how did it save your life? He said, well, you put me in jail for 2 months, but if I wasn't in jail, I would have gone with you and been with you. And because they couldn't sacrifice you, who they would have sacrificed is me. So you cutting your finger off actually saved not only your life, but my life. And I think that's a great story. I can go back and look at where that story came from, but maybe one of you guys in the chat can actually help me with it and tell me. But what a great story. Because what that story does, my friends, is indicates that you may see something from one side of you. But as you see this, you have to kind of look to yourself and say, okay, is there another reason for this happening? Is there something else that is good for us so that this happens in a way where it's going to be positive and not negative? And the thing is that we don't always look at the positive, we look at the negative. And so throughout this 700 days, I've kind of gone back and forth and different mindsets. I mean, now I'm at the point where it's all good. And so my anxiety level's not high like it was. I've had stress levels, different things, stressful situations occur. But my level of stress is a lot different. And I'm also, along with doing a lot of the Fountain of Youth exercises and Qi, I think it's called Qi or Chai, I think it's Qi, and doing a lot of those Chinese type of meditation and those type of things, I've gone really into a lot of things that are more holistic in trying to trying to better myself, and make myself healthier. And those type of things, I think, make a big difference. But I think when you're really talking about this, you're really kind of, I'm going to close my window here for a second. When you're talking about this, you're really kind of talking about how do you make yourself the best you can become. And I think a lot of that is things that we have been told that's incorrect. And we have to kind of go through these type of things and just realize them through our life and the way we are, that certain things are not the way they appear to be. And the same thing goes for things that have happened to us that are not good. We don't think they're good at the time. Now, they may end up being very good for us in the long run. And I think those are the types of things that we have to be aware of. So that's why I love this saying, and that's one of the sayings that I'm going to kind of take with me, as I go through this process, is that no matter what happens, everything that happens is for good. Now, what does that do when you have that sort of feeling after 700 days? Well, what you do first is you realize that there's no need to really get that upset, because there is a good reason, and God may not be sharing you with that reason, but you have to kind of trust the Lord that that's going to happen. And so as you do that, you focus on, well, what is the good that's going to come out of this? And so I think the key is saying, okay, I can accept this. I can accept this. I'm not going to get this upset with it. I'm going to calm down, relax a little bit, and not kind of the old saying used to be blow a gasket, get upset with this. I'm going to kind of hold on to just a positive feeling and move through it. Now, I also highly recommend that you go ahead and meditate or pray. I do both, and try to do that every day. And along that, I do chi and all these other kinds of things to kind of get myself more ready for a good night's sleep, and also in the morning. And to do that so that I can kind of see things better and not get that upset. So I have high blood pressure and all these other kind of things as I get older. And obviously your diet, cold showers, all these things also make a difference. But I have kind of made it my purpose to try to find the elixir of life, I guess you could say, or the truth of life. And as I'm finding out now, as I'm getting older, a lot of things that were told to me when we were younger really are not correct, and they're probably more for economic, political reasons, all these other things that are there. And the thing you have to kind of look at is the fact that people are saying things to you, doing things to you because they're getting some kind of profit from it. So what you got to do is kind of look at yourself and say, okay, what is it that I need to do to make myself better, and to try to make myself the best person I can become. So that's why I say that it's really important to kind of have, get yourself in order first. And I think a lot of times when you're younger, it's hard to do that. You're being pulled a lot of different ways, being told different things. And I have a son in early 20s, and he's trying to get things organized, and he's going through a lot of things that a lot of you are going through as well. Trying to get a job, trying to make money, maybe find somebody to start a family, those type of things. All those things are things that are normal things for young people to do. But don't stress out, and kind of get within yourself, and just take that one day at a time, and really find that focus within yourself, and don't allow other things that are not natural outside of you to get involved with you, to kind of put you in a different state. I know sometimes people don't like the states they're in, so they go ahead and they do drugs or alcohol and things like this. Now, they're not saying that's why they're doing it, but that's really what they're doing. They're altering their mind. And we had a lot that when I was growing up in the 60s, that people would do that too, try to alter their states of mind because they were not happy. But if you have that peace of mind inside of you, and you are happy and peaceful, you don't need all that other kind of stuff outside of you. You make decisions based on things like, well, is it a good investment? Will I have, will I kind of achieve my goals? Things like that. That's what you're focusing on. And that's going to end up helping you a lot more in the long run. All right, my friends, I'm going to cut this one short. Once again, thank you for all your support. I appreciate all your comments, your likes, your donations. All those things are wonderful. Please continue to grow. We're going to shoot now for 750 days next, and I'll probably keep you kind of abreast as we go along. So God bless you guys. I'll try to do one. I got a couple this week, and I'm trying to do one on the Fountain of Youth and the whole idea of chi. Chai, I think it's called. Chai, I'm sorry, I keep messing that up. And trying to kind of tell you my thoughts on this and why this is important to consider as you guys are looking to better yourself. So, all right, guys, have a great weekend. I'll talk with you soon. God bless you guys, and battle on.